Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you today? Okay, we'll tack this onto the series about looking for a homestead. Are you locked into a location, particular state? You got family in the area, whatever, or are you looking for land? Period. You know, if you're just looking for land, period, and even if you're just looking in your local areas, Zillow is a good way to go. You can go in there and set up your profile, put down, what size up to so many acres is what I'm looking for. Look for vacant land, but they'll also bring up some that have houses. You can set up different search areas. Okay. And you'll get a notification on your email, and you can click on it and go out and take a look at the things. It's a very good source, especially if you're looking all over the place. Here in Tennessee, there's some inexpensive land, but always keep in mind, inexpensive usually means, okay, I got to clear the land. A lot of trees, a lot of brush. It's a mess. Here we go. Or it's got a house on it that won't have to rebuild or push down, one or the other. So these are kind of some of the things that you're going to get into. How much work are you willing to do? How much money you got in your pockets? If you're trying to do this on a shoestring budget, you might be better off just trying to find some good, decent vacant land and see about picking that up. There are some places, northern Arkansas, up around the Ozarks area. There's some deals going up there where you can even pick it up on a contract from the owner. Now, it is rocky soil and lots of trees and brush and so forth. You're gonna spend some time clearing it out. Not to say it won't make a great homestead. Okay? And there you can get it like on a rent kind of thing, a very small down payment of maybe $1,000 or so. And boom, small monthly payment, and bang, there you go. I remember there was a place, matter of fact, it kind of ticked me off when I found out about it. I used to have, when I lived out in Vegas, I had a 40-acre place that I planned to build my retirement home and just retire there. Yeah, best laid plans of mice and men, right? But it was down in Arizona. And it's pretty nice, really. Had a, now I can't even think of the name of it. I'm getting forgetful in my old age. I think you call them a Ural or something like that when it rains, gully wash, right? And kind of dammed that up and expanded it out and turned it into a pond. And actually got enough rainfall down in that area that kept it pretty full, things of that nature. So had a nice had like 2 or 3 spots where I'd done that, and made it for a nice water catchment system. Really did. So, you could be working on getting some of those kind of things done. And I was talking to a fellow that bought the acreage next to me and found out, oh yeah, I only had to put like $1,000 down, X number of dollars a month. Oh, you dog. I didn't even know they were doing that. I paid for mine. I was like, suckers. But yeah, but I had a little nicer place that I was going to put. The house was up on a hill looking down over the valley, and it was nice. It'd been nice. Ended up selling it when I made the trek back to Tennessee. I don't regret the trek back to Tennessee. I really don't. I loved it. I've always loved Tennessee. So yeah, it worked out great. But there are deals out there like that. Like I said in the one video, you can run across abandoned farms. If you've picked out an area that you're really looking for, check the county tax record. See if you've got some properties in there that are like way behind in taxes. In a lot of states, there are laws that allow you to pay those taxes. And if you pay enough years of them, you have a right to claim that property. Now, I think the owners of it have a time frame where they can pay you back with interest. But I got to be honest with you, a lot of times if they've not been paying the taxes on it, it's probably because they inherited the land. They really can't afford the taxes on it. But when they get the notice that you now are the new owner, they think, well, I can't just let it go for, several $100 in taxes. But there's an opportunity to start talking to them, to tell them, I'll tell you what, I've already paid this much, and you're going to have to pay me back this much. How about, let's work out a price. And end up with the land cheap. I wouldn't go crazy with it, but you can get it cheap. So, following the tax market's a good way to go. Then there's the always work up. Especially if you're young, don't worry about getting in your everything you ever dreamed of homestead first out of the gate. Okay? Probably not going to get that. Seriously. Because the everything you ever dreamed of homestead is probably going to cost a few bucks. So what you're going to be looking for is a fixer-upper. Yeah, the house looks like the dickens. The barn's kind of needing a lot of repair, and this needs work. Make a low ball offer, pick it up cheap, know what your prices are in the area. If I go through and clean this mess up, fix the house up to where it's halfway decent and so forth, turn around and sell that thing for, a nice margin. Because homesteading, and let me be the first to break it to you, homesteading ain't cheap, folks. Okay, it's not. You need equipment, and you're going to need a tractor. Guarantee you're going to need a tractor. Okay, if you're doing anything on any scale whatsoever, you're going to need one. Fencing material, that's expensive as dickens. Things of this nature, all cost. So, out of that big profit, go run out and buy a brand new pickup truck, okay? Instead, put that back in the bank, start maybe buying some equipment. I always tell folks starting out, step one really if you're wanting to be a homesteader, buy yourself some tools. You're going to need a hose and rakes and shovels and hammers and saws, and you're going to need these things. Start buying them. Store them in the garage, whatever. To where when you get out on that homestead, you're not having to shell out of your pocket this small fortune after you've already shelled out of your pocket to buy this place. Plus, if you buy all them tools, you will be more motivated to get yourself a homestead so you can use them. Okay? And, it kind of keeps that dream right in front of your face. And you got to stay motivated to get it done. You really do. But buy some tools. Start collecting tools. Used to have a good time going to places like, okay, let's say you buy a tractor, you wanting to get some equipment for one. You can go to these old auctions and pick up some cheap, like a 8-10 foot disc that needs some work. You got room to work on it, stick the thing in the garage and fix it all up, make it look like a brand new one, get it all running, just perfect. Okay, well, guess what? You got a really good disc. Put it under a tarp and behind the garage and, keep moving on. Because all that kind of equipment is going to be needed. Okay? Depending on how big of an operation, what kind of operation, things of this nature you're looking for. If you get close and you want to do a cattle operation, start buying things like corrals, panels. Okay? They're interlocking, you build a corral out of them. You can buy panels like that, and pick up 2 or 3 a month or something of that nature. Buy feeders, waters. Start getting the stuff you're going to need. Head gates and chutes and, store them. Might rent a storage spot to stick them in. Start acquiring these things. Okay, because without them, you're going to be coming out of pocket for a lot of money right there to get go. Number one rule, especially when you're talking about farm animals, infrastructure first, animals after. Too often people run out and start buying up animals, and they put up some little lean-to or whatever, and they're trying to play catch-up all the time. Don't want to do that. Infrastructure first. One, it makes you start thinking, what am I going to need? Where am I going to put it? You start looking at your barn and stuff and say, well, how do I want to lay out a corral if you're like doing cattle to where I can run them into the barns, or I can do this with them or that with them? These are all things that gives you a chance to think about it, get it in place, and that way from day one, when that first hoof hits your property, you got it under control. Okay? And there's tons of different designs. There's a lot of ways you can do it. If you got a lot of lumber on your, or a lot of trees on your property, especially if they're, 4 or 6 inch post type of trees, utilize it. And they were building corrals and things of this nature for a lot of years and didn't go down and buy posts. All right. I like to have at least a few of the stick together, what we call corral panels. I like to have a few of those around the place because if I've got an isolated cow or something like that pretty quickly, they're easy to set up and then leave the gate open, run the cow in there, close it up. And comes in real handy if you're going to have to work with this calf. Keeps her contained while you're in doing your thing. A lot of little stuff like that. Plan ahead, plan ahead, plan ahead. Okay, don't want this to get too long. Don't forget to, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and notification so that you know when we put another one of these up, and I'm going to be running a lot of these out. I'm getting old, man. I got to get this information out here to where you guys can use it. Go ahead and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think and what you'd like to hear about. Okay? What kind of what would help you the most? Because that's really what I'm trying to do here is get you educated. And this is Rich, Tennessee Homestead. Love you guys. I appreciate you. You have a great day.